What's up, YouTube? Moto Meat here, doing a little chainsaw motor review. So this is a brushless 6-inch mini electric chainsaw by Tomyvic. I don't know if it's Tommy or Tomyvic. I guess I'll have to figure that out for the title before I post this. So I paid $51 for it. Came with 2 batteries, a charger. I'll show you all the stuff it came with. The only thing that's not in here right now is the second battery and the charger because it's charging. So when you get this thing, you're going to have to charge the batteries first, as with pretty much anything. You'd be smart too anyways. So it comes with some goggles. I'm sure they're not really the best. Some gloves that are probably not the best. You'd be better off with leather. Comes with the chainsaw, which is about maybe 5 pounds, pretty light. Comes with the tensioning screwdriver. A little Phillips head, sorry I won't focus in on there. The wrench for this right here. Boy, is it windy outside. Ain't in Kansas anymore, Toto. Comes with a spare blade. 6-inch chainsaw blade. A saw chain blade, they call it. It's not a chainsaw, it's a saw chain. That's cool. A sawing chain. And it comes with this bottle here, but it was empty. And you just fill it up with bar and chain oil. Porky, are you hanging out with me, Pork? Oh, she's just a little baby. Look at that nubby bottom lip. She's a little nubster. That little nub is from when she was in a rescue and she got in a fight with another dog. I guess they tried putting them in the same kennel, and yeah, she got bit and her mouth got ripped open. Poor little baby. Porky. I love my porker. Okay. She's my buddy. So, it comes with 2 of these batteries. And when I went and sawed outside, I was sawing into larger than 6-inch. A couple of them were like 8 inches or so. And it made it through it. I cut 12 pieces of wood, and there was still charge in the battery after I gave it a break for a second. It didn't go, it stopped working is what my point is. And then after it sat for a second, there was a little charge left in it. As far as I know, you're not really supposed to discharge batteries all the way to the bottom, though. So, as you can see, it's a pretty cool little kit. It's got quite a bit of stuff. Gives you a nice carrying case. Who knows how sturdy it's going to be. You never know that kind of stuff. But it does come with it. So, a few notes about it that I wanted to mention. I think it is Tomyvic or whatever. I'll have to update that on my short video. So on the short video, I apologize. I was holding a phone and trying to chainsaw with one hand, or saw chain. Just kidding. It's a chainsaw, but that's the saw chain. I get it. All right, I'm stupid. Whatever. So I was having a hard time focusing because I myself was trying to watch the saw, and the video was over there looking at nothing. And then I also didn't click the battery in all the way. So it fell off while I was sawing. But I just left it on the video there, because that's what it is. I'm not a perfect person. But I wanted to talk about what I think about this saw and what you're going to use it for. The reason why I bought it is because I have logs outside that I didn't cut up. And, if I wanted to run out there and just cut a few, they're already dry. So I figured, if I wanted to cut a few and just have a fire, My house is like really efficient, so I really don't. I've only needed to run the fireplace all day a few times, and actually, it doesn't even run all day. I would run a couple fires, and then it would be warm, and then it would go out, and then in the night I would run it, and that's if it's terribly cold. So my house is super efficient. Usually only need to do one fire. You light a fire in the morning, and it stays hot all day. And I got really big windows. I think 9 of them out front that are like 7 feet tall, I think they are. So they take in a lot of heat. So I just bought it to where I could just cut like a few logs and throw them in. And I also bought it because it's like great for trimming small things. Like say you wanted to just go trim some branches off your tree that were dead. You would definitely whip this out instead of starting up a chainsaw that's just a pain in the ass. Unless you want, to spend $400 on a chainsaw that just starts every time. That's up to you. But I also think this is just like a benefit. A woman can run this, and I'm not picking on women, but they don't have the strongest hands. It's very light. I would say 5, maybe 6 pounds max with a battery on it. Very easy to handle. You also could teach your kid. I know it sounds crazy. I'm not telling you to teach your children how to chainsaw, but per se, a lot of people do teach their kids how to do things. You could teach them how to use this before they used a real chainsaw. And you also could have, like, say your wife trimming if you've ever cut down a tree, you know that it's not just big logs. There's always trim work. You cut down the tree, and then you have to trim the branches off the sides. This is way better than a chainsaw for that. So easy to cut. It was very efficient, very smooth. Like I said, I cut 12 logs. Some of them were 4 to 5, 6 inches. A couple of them were 8 inches. And you could just kind of work your way around it. I found myself just kind of going and then pulling it back, and it just went right through it. Not instantly, but it was like without effort. So a woman can run this real easy. And it's just a benefit. Like my mom, she's 70. She agreed that it was light enough for her to handle. So there's quite a few uses for it, I would say. The main use would be for like trimming trees around the yard. Like say you're hanging up in a tree. This is the main thing. Like say you got to get in a ladder or even climb a tree a little bit to trim some branches. This guy is going to be way easier to handle with one hand. Isn't that right, Porky? Well, she wanted back in the video, guys. All right, that's Porker. Yeah, it's a Porky. She's a good girl. She's very loyal. She says she wants to look at the chainsaw too. What are you looking at, Dad? Make videos with a phone. She's real smart when you have the phone. She's like, stop it. She's actually punched the phone out of my hand before. But so let's get back to it. If you're up in a tree, standing on a branch or something, or even on a ladder, this is going to be the way to go because you could cut a really big branch. If you think about a 6-inch branch, it says to cut 5. But if you're cutting anything like that, that's a pretty large branch, and this thing can handle it, and you're not wielding a chainsaw. And it stops when you're done. Basically what I'm saying is when you pull the trigger, it just completely stops. A chainsaw is kind of still going around, and it's real dangerous. Also, this thing isn't going to have a chance. In my mind, my guess would be anyways, that if this chain breaks, it's going to have much less of a chance of damaging you, like coming back and slashing through your arm or your leg. These things are great. I just used it once. I was real happy with it. And like I said, anybody with kind of weak hands can use it. So if you're not trying to take down a big tree, this will cut down a 6-inch tree. I guarantee it. So if you only have a 6-inch tree that's dead in the yard, definitely will cut it down. It's great. Like here's another thing. Like say you need emergency firewood. I know it sounds crazy, but like say there's a point where you can't get anyone to come to your house to give you any firewood. You can go and just cut. Okay, disclaimer. I'm not recommending you do all this stuff, but you can just go cut some random wood. We'll call it random wood, and just backpack it home and have a fire. So, and it's silent. No one's gonna hear you chopping down or chopping away at some little limbs in a park or something. All right, guys. Make sure it's dead. Don't cut down a live tree. It won't burn. But yeah, this guard flips back. I was wondering about that. I'm like, it flips back neatly. I definitely don't say to take it off. It says to oil this every use. Just put a little on the chain. And I definitely would say before you put it away, oil it also, just to keep the chain real nice. The saw chain nice. And it says every use to oil it. Oil it as often as you can. Like I put some, just it says bar and chain oil. It actually says vegetable oil will work, but not as well. And it says do not use car engine oil. It does not have the viscosity, is what it says. But I'm real happy with it. I paid $50. I just got it last week or something. I ordered it, and I got on Amazon just to copy the link, and it was at $70. So it looks like I scored a $20 profit off of that. I didn't lose the 20, but I'm happy with it. And so far, let's see, how long did it take? I think it took like an hour and a half to charge the battery. I don't know, let me hook this battery in here real quick to show you how neat it's just. See, say you're in a tree and you go and you let go, stops pretty quick. And if you drop it, it's not running. It's a brushless motor. It's super light. Like I said, I bet it's only 5 pounds altogether. So it's real neat on your wrist. And I just recommend them. All right, guys. Moto Meat out. Thanks for chewing the fat on this issue. Thank you for subscribing. Like the video. You guys are cool, man. I appreciate all you guys. Take care.
Have you been naughty or nice?